Welcome into the Jets Report by Chat Sports. I'm Mike Geraputo. We are presented by Prize Picks. We had a huge deal go down in the NFL yesterday, and it got me thinking a little bit about our New York Jets. Let's get into that right now. Okay, so yesterday's deal came in really a pretty shocking deal. I was talking to a Rams guy in the office about this at about 9 o'clock yesterday in the morning, and we both were like, all right, yeah, right. Like, there's no chance this happens. We all saw those rumors. Like, these never come to fruition. These big players like Myles Garrett, really maybe the best player in the NFL if you take away positional value, getting traded. But it happened. The deal went through, and it really got me thinking about our guy, Darren Mougey, and the kind of deals that he's made, because you saw this. Jared Verse, first rounder, second rounder, third rounder. Verse is a really good player. He's a good edge rusher. He's not even close to what Myles Garrett is as a player. And Mougey, you think about all the deals that he's made, 13 deals so far as the Jets general manager, and almost all of them have been pretty damn good for the Jets. So today's show, going to be kind of breaking down what's gone on with those deals and how they've affected the Jets and how we've really gotten away with some of these amazing deals. If you want to look at what they got for Myles Garrett versus what we've got for some of our guys, you'd be pretty impressed with Darren Mougey. Before we get into any of that, I'm going to ask you guys a favor. 28 subs away from 13.5K. I think we gained about 25 from yesterday's video. So if you're new here, welcome in to the Jets Report. Welcome in. I mean, we're always going to have you covered with news, rumors, everything Jets. Absolutely everything. I'll have you covered. I appreciate you guys very much for taking the time to watch, as always. So, all right, today we're going to be counting down Darren Mougey's my top 5 trades that he has made as the Jets general manager. And we're going to start out here with number 5. This one just happened about 2.5 months ago, right as free agency was beginning. This was just a straight-up trade. T'Vondre Sweat, the defensive tackle, and we gave away edge rusher Jermaine Johnson. And I think the biggest win about this trade was we're not going to really have to extend Johnson past what he would have gotten. So he's going to be an unrestricted free agent in 2027. And honestly, I have no idea how I would have valued a guy like Johnson, because we saw him in 2023, and he was really good as a player. But then 24, you had the injury. 25, really just a dip in his production entirely. And I don't want to put it completely on him because the defense did get a lot worse. But you add Sweat to this line, and now it's like, whereas the defensive line last year was a huge weakness for this Jets team, it becomes really a little bit of a strength. It's the best part of this defense, far and away. You know, I have Sweat. I have Briggs listed as a starter. We'll see what happens. Harrison Phillips, David Onyemata now on the interior defensive line. And yeah, you lost Jermaine Johnson, but you still have Will McDonald. You drafted David Bailey. You add Joseph Asai. You add Enigbari. So really, I'm not going into the season There hasn't really been moments in this offseason where I go, damn, I wish we still had Jermaine Johnson. So the fact that we got T'Vondre Sweat and avoided what would have been getting nothing for Jermaine Johnson after this season, I think it's a pretty damn good deal by Darren Mougey. Number 4, a little bit under the radar, I guess, but if you're a true fan of this team, you know how good this guy was for us last season. That's Juwan Briggs, the defensive tackle from the Cleveland Browns, and all we had to give up was a 6th-round pick. That's all we had to give up. And we got a 7th-round pick back. So Cleveland was basically saying, all right, we're probably going to cut this guy. Let's call some people. Let's see if we can get something. The Jets picked up the phone. Mougey picked up the phone. We get Juwan Briggs before the 2025 season. And I got to say, I know this is kind of almost sad to admit and sad to say about this team. He was probably the best player on this defense last season. And yeah, maybe Quinnen was better before he got dealt. Maybe Sauce was better before he got dealt. But consistently throughout last season, the only guy in that defensive line that I saw making a real impact every game, usually at least, was Juwan Briggs. And we really got him for absolutely nothing. And you know what the best part about this is? He's not making any freaking money. He's making $1 million this season. So he will, he's going to be a cheap option for us. And what made this defense so good? 2022, 2023, the fact that we were able to rotate these guys off the line. You get Briggs, you have now Phillips, still Onyemata. You have all these guys to rotate. I think it's going to be really cool to see Briggs develop even more as a Jet. Coming right up, I got Mougey's top 3 trades that I believe have been the best for the Jets, and also how we can actually cash into them. Because right now, all Mougey has to show for it is a 3-14 season and not much else. So what is it actually going to lead to? That's coming up right after we thank today's sponsor, and those are our friends over at Prize Picks. Today's show, Was made possible by PrizePicks. The playoffs are rounding out for basketball. Baseball is underway, and it's time to cash in with PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it's the best place to win cash while you're watching sports. The app is really easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you lock in your lineup. With the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups with just a single click. Lineups like these. We got a season-long one going right now. We got Brees the more. We got Tony Pollard the less. Mark Andrews the more on all their season-long totals. $50 entry will pay you $300. So those lineups, copy them, share them with a single click. That includes myself and my producer Cullen. You can follow us on PrizePicks, tailor picks, or you can fade them and get the picks before they're even posted here on the Jets Report. And with the New Year's offer, you could download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and the description and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. As we roll along here to trade number 3, you might have expected to see this as number 2. I'm going with the Quinnen trade to the Dallas Cowboys, and the details of these were as follows. So we trade away Quinnen Williams. That's my mistake. We trade away Quinnen Williams, and the Cowboys get and we get second-round pick, a first-round pick in 2027. And Mougey Smith, the defensive tackle from the Cowboys. Obviously, my mistake with the graphics there. Traded away Quinnen Williams. But you saw Quinnen over his last 4 seasons with the Jets. There was sort of a dip in production. 2022 was amazing. It was incredible. I mean, the fact that he got 12 sacks as an interior defensive lineman is absolutely out of this world. But then the 5.5 sacks, then the 6, then last season, just the 2.5. And I'm not just saying, like, you're a defensive lineman. It's not your sole responsibility just to get after the quarterback. So I'm not just saying that. But you saw it on the screen. You saw it watching these games. There was less of a feel of his impact those final 2 seasons with the Jets. And again, it goes hand in hand, along with Jermaine Johnson and along with the guy we're going to talk about a little bit later. You might know who he is. The production dipping along with the defense getting worse. Like, guys, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're Quinnen Williams, if you're Sauce Gardner, if you're Jermaine Johnson, the defense, if it gets worse around you, you individually are going to suffer as a player. Your play is going to suffer on the field because of that. We also, number 2, I'm going to go with the Minkah Fitzpatrick deal that just happened this offseason. We really gave them basically nothing. I mean, we gave the Dolphins basically nothing in this deal in return for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who not only is he a leader, but he's really still one of the better guys in the secondary in the entire National Football League, just the 2026 7th-round pick. So basically Miami, same thing along with Jawan Briggs. Like, hey, we're going to release this guy anyway probably, so who's going to call us, offer us a little bit of something for him? The Jets picked up the phone, and they did it. And we also extended him as soon as we got that deal. So really not too bad of a deal right here. 3 years, just $40 million. Guaranteed money, $20 million. So you're probably going to be able to get out of it after just 2 years, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 2030. So you have him locked down. You have another guy on this defense locked down, and really why I think we did this is Aaron Glenn and this entire defense. I mean, they just lacked any sort of leadership in 2025, and Glenn actually spoke today, and I'm going to probably have that out in a video either later today or tomorrow, about just why he brought in a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it was just simply for the veteran leadership. Yeah, he's a really good player, but this Jets defense just lacked any sort of leadership last season. So bringing in a guy like Minkah with that legit NFL experience being one of the better safeties in all of football, I love this move for the Jets. I think it's the second best trade that Darren Mougey has made. But what takes the cake? You might have a feeling. Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. And look, my producer Colin especially knows this. I'm a huge Sauce Gardner fan. Like, I will take him over almost any other cornerback in the National Football League because I saw it. And, look, as I said, you probably saw this one coming with this trade. Like, he was, with the fact that we got 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner was pretty shocking when it went down. Honestly, my initial reaction when this went down last year, I was pretty disappointed. I mean, I loved Sauce Gardner. I loved him on the Jets. He was the best cornerback far and away that we have had since Darrelle Revis. Like, there was no one even that touched Sauce in that time, and especially not the 2015 version of Revis or the 2016 version of him. But Indianapolis, what they were doing and why I didn't think it was so bad at the time, they were trading for the version of Sauce that we all loved and we all saw his first 2 seasons in the NFL, the first cornerback ever, back-to-back all-pro seasons entering the National Football League. I know for a fact, I watched every single Jets game, and you probably did too. This guy was the best cornerback in football in 22 and 23. There's no doubt about it. You could show me any chart. You could show me any chart and anything you'll see on Twitter. Basically every stat you could possibly read will back it up. Sauce was the best cornerback in football from 22 to 23. But you get rid of him. Yeah, he was amazing, but now you are absolutely loaded up with unlimited possibilities in the 2027 NFL draft. As we know we have 3 first-rounders, one from Dallas, one from Indianapolis, and the Indianapolis one might end up being a top 10 pick. I mean, that might not be a really good football team this year. So if the Jets, they win 5 or 6 games, the Colts win 5 or 6 games, you could have 2 picks inside the top 10 in that NFL draft. And what's becoming obvious, and how I think the Jets can actually cash in on all of these moves that I love, is we're setting up to take the next quarterback and to support the next quarterback. So they're giving themselves as many chances to take swings on that guy, and Mougey is obviously, the vision is at least obvious. Whereas with Joe Douglas, half the time I'm like, I don't really know what the hell he's thinking. I don't really know what the hell he's doing. Mike McCagnon, same deal. With Mougey, at least, yeah, he's gone. All that he has to show for it so far is a 3-14 season. That's all that he has to show. That is his track record right now, along with these trades. But at least I can see, as a fan of this team, hey, this guy has a clear vision for what he wants to do as the GM of this football team. All right. A little bit about Mougey there, his top 5 trades. You guys let me know what you think his best trade was. Maybe give me an underrated trade that he's made so far. He got 13 to pick from. So give me something in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Help us get to 13.5K, just 28 away. As always, JETS, 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 Jets.